Right now, Tesla is the electric vehicle manufacturing leader in North America by a long shot, and General Motors is number two. Well, GM is higher to being number two. It's set its sights on overtaking Tesla, and it's got some tricks up its sleeve that it announced last week. So I'm going to talk to Sam Abuelsamid from Guidehouse Insights about that. So welcome to the interview, Sam.
Hey, good to talk to you again, Markham.
Now, on a personal note, my wife and I are looking at an electric vehicle down the road, and we'd like a smaller crossover. And it turns out that GM has announced one. $30,000 US is the targeted sticker price. What can you tell us about it?
Uh, so far, not much, other than it's going to be roughly the size of the Chevy Equinox, GMC Terrain, that type of compact crossover, which is pretty much the most popular segment in the market right now, at least here in the U.S.
Now, it's going to be built on the Ultium platform. Does that tell us anything about potential, range for this vehicle?
I would guess it's probably going to be at least 300-mile range offering. Given the $30,000 starting price point, there may be a variant at that price that starts at a little bit lower range, maybe 250 miles. I can't see GM going below 250 for a mainstream vehicle like that, but I would expect there will probably be at least a 300 mile, 500 kilometer range version, maybe in the mid 30s.
Now, on the subject of GM's batteries, they're doing a recall of the Bolt batteries. Is it was the problem there is some of the batteries are catching on fire. Is this those batteries an older technology, and it'll be different with the Ultium will be different and solve some of those safety issues?
They are similar. They're not exactly the same. So it's still fundamentally it's a pouch cell with layered, folded layered electrode stack. So anodes and cathodes and separators. But the way they're manufacturing is a little bit different from what they did previously. And they have, from my conversations with engineers at GM, they have they've determined what the root cause of the problem was with the bolt cells, that manufacturing process, and they've incorporated the lessons learned from that into the Ultium manufacturing process. So they don't expect to have any similar issues with the Ultium cells.
Good stuff. And the GM also announced Ultra Cruise. Now, that brings up the old joke. At least was an old joke when I was a young guy. Cruise control, you don't just go to sleep and let the car drive for itself, but that in fact may be what is coming. Can you tell us about Ultra Cruise?
Actually, with Ultra Cruise, you still won't be able to go to sleep or climb in the back seat. It's still a level two system as we know it, which means it's partial automation. It can take care of your speed control, make sure that you maintain a safe distance to the vehicle ahead of you, keep you in the lane. But it does go significantly beyond the functionality of the Super Cruise system that's available today. So with Super Cruise today, it's limited to divided highways. It can operate on about 200,000 miles of divided highways across Canada and the U.S. With Ultra Cruise, that goes up by a factor of 10 to 2 million miles. And so it'll be able to be used on city streets, urban, suburban streets, rural roads, wherever they're marked and mapped. So it remains geofenced. The driver still is ultimately responsible, has to keep their eyes on the road and be ready to take over, but they will retain an upgraded version of the infrared driver monitor system. And it does add new functionality. So basically, it can do driveway to driveway, hands-free operation. So you get in the car, you input your destination, it will be able to back out, drive down the street, make turns, react to traffic signals, so stop at red lights, go at green lights, and do all the merging onto highways. And according to GM, they expect it should be able to handle about 95% of most driving scenarios, which means that there will still be cases where you have to take over. So things like, for example, a construction zone that has just popped up that it might not have information about and might not know how to handle. It'll hand back control to the driver. So you do have to remain alert and ready to take the wheel at any point in time.
Now, a few years ago, Sam, I was interviewing city planners about, how were they preparing for autonomous electric vehicles in their cities. And I remember the city of Calgary in particular telling me that they had been told by the manufacturers, don't prepare for geofencing. We want these autonomous vehicles to be able to handle all conditions. But now it sounds like, is the industry shifting over to geofencing? That is, having data available to the cars at all times so they know where they are. Is there been a shift in the industry lately?
I wouldn't say it's been a shift because it's pretty much been that way for virtually every company developing automated driving systems from the beginning, that it would be geofenced to start with. Nobody has any, aside from the claims of a certain CEO that just moved from California to Texas. No one else in this industry has any expectation that we will have non-geofenced autonomy anytime in the foreseeable future.
So what about the next move beyond, say, an ultra cruise style autonomy? What's in store for level 3, let's say, and when is it coming?
So there are some level 3 systems coming to market. The difference between level 2 and level 3 is level 2, the driver has to keep their eyes on the road and be ready to take control at any moment. Level 3, they don't have to watch the road 100% of the time, but they do need to be alert and ready to take control within about a 10-second time frame. So you can, for example, be texting or looking at a video on the screen, the infotainment screen, something like that. But you do have to remain alert and in the driver's seat. So the first level 3 systems, there's actually a level 3 system already on the market in Japan from Honda. It's in very limited production on the Honda Legend, which was previously sold here as the Acura RL. And I think they're only building about 100 of those. Mercedes-Benz is also launching a level 3 system in Germany later this fall that is going to be on the S-Class initially, and then a few months after that on the new EQS electric sedan, and then coming to other Mercedes models over the next year or two. Those systems are, as I said, similar to the level 2 systems today. They're limited to highway driving. They will do lane centering, keep you in the lane. They will maintain the distance to the vehicle ahead, and you don't have to watch the road, but they're limited to speeds of about 60 kilometers per hour. So it's basically a traffic jam assist system. So if you're stuck in stop and go traffic on the freeway, you can engage this, and it will handle pretty much all of the driving task until you're moving up above 60 kilometers per hour again, at which point you have to take over.
Interesting. When are we likely to see, level 4 or level 5 vehicles being released, Sam?
Well, there are some level 4 vehicles out on the road today, but these are not vehicles that you can purchase. And I would not expect to see level 4 vehicles that consumers can purchase until sometime in the latter half of the decade. And at that point, it's still going to be at the very premium end of the market, not in mainstream vehicles. That said, Waymo is operating, doing driverless ride-hailing operations today in Arizona. And they have a permit from the California DMV to do that in California, as does Cruise, which is owned by GM and Honda. They also have a similar permit. And at the GM Investor Day that we mentioned earlier, Dan Amon, the CEO of Cruise, gave an update on what they're doing. And I also had a conversation with somebody from Cruise that day. The process in California is you have to get the driverless ride-hailing permit from the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, first, and then you can apply for one from the Public Utilities Commission. Once you have that, then you can start commercial operations. And so Cruise and Waymo both have that. It's about a 3 to 4 month process to get the PUC permit. And so we're looking probably sometime early in 2022 when I would expect to see either or both of those companies start some driverless ride-hailing operations in San Francisco. And in addition, we'll have other services still with safety drivers. Argo has announced plans to launch ride-hailing with Lyft in Austin and Miami by the end of the year. And Motional is already doing the same thing in Las Vegas with Lyft, and they plan to launch a multi-city service in 2023. And there's also delivery services, autonomous level 4 delivery services that are also happening. Nuro is operating in California and in Texas, and we've got a variety of others going on with various companies.
Well, I can hardly wait for my first ride in a robo-taxi, Sam. I've been looking forward to that for a long time. Thank you
All
very
you got
much.
to do is go to Vegas and open up the Lyft app and hop into one of Motional's cars.
As soon as the pandemic is over, you can bet on it. Sam, thank you very much. Appreciate your insights.
My pleasure as always. Have a great day.